Alright, so just off the looks of this, my first interest goes over here at these highs, which is the previous day high. So that's my first draw on liquidity. I do think the market can reach over there. This low right here, I think it's a safe low, meaning that you don't have to worry about it reversing and trading and going lower, because the daily draws are up here. So yeah, I kind of just woke up, so I'm still warming up my brain. My throat is a little scuffed. Note the buy side here. This is an old buy side pool on the monthly chart from here. So even though it's been reached and traded to, the function of this is still kind of like a premium and discount array, meaning anything below it is used as discount and above is premium. And so you can see that all of London was used to accumulate below the buy side and below the Sunday open, and so we have the low of day right here at 435, also below that old rejection block. So that's why I believe this is safe, because something went on over here, and we instantly began rallying, came back down into this discount array, also a balanced price range, and then shot up 930 open. We sent it higher. We are inside of the December 11th to December 15th fair value gap on the weekly chart. So I'm expecting some sensitivity at this high. So that's what I'm watching. That basically brings my eye to this fair value gap, this 930 fair value gap. So I'm watching that right now. And we can use this as a draw also. So give or take 47.51. Draw that out. And so NASDAQ to 16,577. I like that. So right over here. So buy side above here. You can see that NASDAQ is much closer to that in terms of distance. So just quickly take a look at that buy side over there. Watch NASDAQ here as it trades into buy side. There we go. So there's NASDAQ. Now we want to watch S&P. Does it have what it takes to get up and above this 5-minute SIBI and into this buy side? Note this fair value gap. This is what I'm watching. Should we trade any higher? Use this as a discount array. Now, there's a chance that it does diverge here and continue to, or not continue, sorry, shift gears and then trade lower or just consolidate. But my interest is higher. I think the draw is higher. NASDAQ does have room to go higher above that buy side. If you look at your daily chart and note the January 3rd candle, it's a SIBI. I think that NASDAQ is going to use that as a means of inversion to trade higher. So note this candle right now, the current candle, 940. So we want to see what it does. Right, note the close. Right, we went down, efficiently delivered sell side. So that gives me reason to believe that next is this high. So attack that buy side and then trade into that low at 47.51, let's say. And NASDAQ has traded to the January 3rd SIBI that I just mentioned on the daily chart that I'd like to be seen as inversion, meaning even though it's a premium array, it's going to go up into it, book it as a premium array, and then use it as a discount to send price higher. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Note the difference between NASDAQ and S&P. S&P is a little weaker right now, or short of its buy side, while NASDAQ has traded into its buy side already. So let me just show you what that looks like. I'm talking about this buy side here. This is the dollar. You can see we are risk on right now. S&P. So right about now, you can start working within a 1 minute chart, trusting that this fair value gap is in effect or being used by the algorithm to some extent. So some things you could watch is this. Should it trade into here? That's okay, but I'd like to see this be used as breakaway, meaning it shouldn't come down into here because we want to see speed and efficiency. But if it does, it doesn't negate anything. It can come down into here, trade to consequent encroachment, and then resume going higher. But like I said, on the 5 minute, we have this buy side here. Very, very short term buy side. Anyone who went short on this quick little sell off here to the discount array has now been negated or neutralized just on that run. Now, in my opinion, after booking that buy side, how we did, I would not like to see it return back into here, just because anyone who did go short on this at whatever price point, if they've been neutralized, if you think about their position, their P&L statement, and what they're seeing, and really that's what they're reacting to, we wouldn't want to see them go back in profits or near profits. It should just expand, and it would, let's say if they haven't closed out their position here, they are going to regret that if the draw is higher. So hopefully that makes sense. But that would include that this breakaway does not get traded to, and if it does, that's okay. I'm just playing it safe here. So if you take a look at NASDAQ's 5 minute chart and that daily inefficiency I was talking about, note the close. So even though it's below this, I actually prefer that. I like that. And I think that this is the next attack on liquidity, short-term buy side, right above this candle. So that's 16,597 and 2/4. So we're watching that next on NASDAQ, which means for S&P, just above these highs at 47.48 and 2/4. And then we also have that 5-minute draw above at 47.51. So that is also something I'm watching. So that breakaway has been booked. Now, does that negate the idea completely? No. It's just in terms of trade management, that's something that I would not want to see. And I would feel safe, I would feel comfortable closing out the position anywhere around 47.45 right here, manually closing it out to mitigate risk, and we'll see what happens. Note the dollar, unable to trade below these lows. So those lows on dollar at 102.286, so the low of the 9:35 a.m. candle, that's what I'm watching for continued risk on. If we don't trade below that in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't think that the market is going to expand up into that buy side as we'd like to see it, and I would just call it a day, close it out. It is Monday. If you note the economic calendar, we have CPI on Wednesday, So typically, something I like to do on these type of weeks is I know that the market will move within like the first 15-30 minutes of open on Mondays. Tuesdays is just no good. Wednesday you wait for CPI and then you come back in after everyone has been cleared, and that's when you can operate. So maybe I'll be live tomorrow, maybe I won't, but I will surely be live on Wednesday. There's that short-term buy side. Like I said, the idea does not get negated here, but in terms of trade management, do you feel comfortable knowing that this fair value gap is being traded into? I guess in hindsight, it's always easy, and you can say, well, I could use this as a discount fair value gap, bought more here, and done more orders at this rejection block, and look at price now. But that's just not the reality. And if you know the dollar, like I said, that 935 candle, this one right here, and until it goes below this, actually I can't remember what I said word for word or how I worded it, but basically my idea was below this we have continued risk on, meaning dollar lower and indices and forex higher. What happened? Well, actually go back. At what time did we start to send this lower? 957 and 958. It was booked that low. Go here, 957, sent it higher, and then 958 was just this candle right here. And then note the NASDAQ, kind of all over the place here. Remember that inefficiency I was talking about? This one right here, January 3rd, fair value gap SIBI. I said I'd like to be, or I'd like to see it used as inversion. Right here, so many signatures that you can operate within. It's really just what your eye picks up on. My eye picked up on this inefficiency just looking at it in hindsight now. I wasn't really looking at NASDAQ, I was more so looking at this, not this. Looking at the S&P and this 5-minute fair value gap as a multiplier, and then that 5-minute fair value gap SIBI as a draw on liquidity. So go back to the 5-minute right here, 5-minute fair value gap. I wrote SIBI, I just realized this is a BISI. And we have the SIBI here. So yes, we have buy side above here, and this is where you would ask yourself, if you're in a position, where do I close it out? What's the likeliness of it going here? If it doesn't go there, how will I feel? If it does go there, how would I feel? How much more time will I have to sit for? In terms of long term, if you spend 1 extra hour right now in holding a position that is just kind of gonna lag, in my opinion, meaning it might do it, it might book that buy side, but how it books it is of importance. Does it book it with speed? Does it book it with conviction? I don't think it will. I do think it can book it, but I don't think it's going to do it in a matter where, how do I say this? If you think about the economic calendar and CPI on Wednesday, the characteristics of that entire week are Monday, Tuesday are dry, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bread and butter. Typically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we'll have to see, because Friday has its own function. So, I mean, just look at the reaction at that low. I would have liked to seen it, and this is what I would have liked to seen. I would have liked to seen it go into that and just use this low as like breakaway, meaning it comes up in here, closes, does something around at consequent encroachment, but does not return back to the low, and then sends it higher. That's what I would like to see, but because of the economic calendar, that's not happening, and so we're not going to force our will onto the marketplace and do more. That's it. We're just not going to do more. In fact, we're actually going to cut the live stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed and hopefully learned something. Maybe not. And I hope you also like the mic. I'm using a new mic. It's a Blue Snowball. I don't really like it. I prefer a mute button on my mic. This one doesn't have it. It's kind of big, and we'll see. I have a new desk on the way, so once the desk comes and I can figure out the proper setup, it's a standing desk, so that'll be fun. But once I figure out a proper setup and everything, I will decide whether I like this mic or not. If not, I'm just going to get those arm ones that kind of float in the air, and like there's a clamp and everything. And hopefully that one has a mute button. That would be nice, but I don't want to compromise the mic quality. I would still want a nice sounding mic, so if anyone is actually watching these, please let me know. You can go back into my previous live streams, and you can go into this one and just compare mic quality. I prefer this one, but I just don't prefer the mute button, so yeah. Alright. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed your Monday. I definitely did. I'm gonna be doing other things like making breakfast. And there's that high booked